So that was
Cat Corner.
That was Cat Corner. Kitty Corner.
Kitty Corner.
Yeah,
Kitty Corner.
That's Kitty Corner.
Yeah. So, so where was I going? Oh, yes. So the commercial with Mark Evan Jackson.
That was not the good segue. Where was I going? Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
That didn't sound pre-planned at all.
No, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't sound organic at all. But it got me thinking, like, I've seen a lot of Good Place people and other stuff.
Sure, yes. Such as?
Recently. So I saw Midsommar last week.
Is it... So if it's something that's particularly gruesome, I am not going to see it.
You're not going to go see it.
Oh, okay.
I'll just tell you that right now.
But our boy Cheetah's in it?
Yes, so our boy Cheetah is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good in it. I've never seen him in anything else other than
I
Good
have
Place.
also not seen him as not Cheetah.
Yeah. And he's a college graduate student. They're all graduate students.
Okay. So he has range. He can be a professor or a student.
Yes. Well, that's the other thing too, is like he's a professor on one show, he's a student on another, and it's got, like, so the movie has him, the geeky kid from We're the Millers.
I don't know.
Will
that
Powyer, I think is his name. He's been in a few movies.
Okay.
But he's, I think in We're the Millers, he gets his dick caught on something or something awful happens.
Is that the one that has Jason Sudeikis in it?
Yes.
And Jennifer Aniston?
It does.
I've not seen that.
That one's mildly amusing. Definitely in your, definitely a step below your game night.
Okay.
But definitely a step above your tags.
Okay. It's kind of in the middle.
Kind of in the middle of those.
I was really hoping Tag was going to be good. I haven't seen it, mostly because everybody said it's so horrible.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's not good. John Hamm should have elevated that shit, and he did not.
Yeah.
Hannibal Buress should have elevated that shit. He kind of did.
Hannibal Buress is pretty great. Yeah. Why didn't he?
No.
Oh, well. But Game Night was outstanding.
Oh, Game Night's so good. Game Night's excellent. So I could watch Game Night
all night.
And so, and Jesse Plemons is the next door neighbor.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was amazing. He was really good.
He's kind of got a niche for those guys, guys like that.
Yeah,
which is a blessing and a curse.
So, did The Good Place get nominated for Emmys?
It did. Got nominated for Best Comedy. I think Dancing got nominated again.
Okay. Deservedly so.
Deservedly so. I mean, it does help that we have sway with the Emmy board.
Right, of course, yeah. We were poking them the entire time.
Well, we sent each member of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences a link to our
podcast.
Mm-hmm. And obviously from episode 1 they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is fucking audio gold."
Yes, yeah, exactly. We were actually offered to come live podcast at the Emmys, and we turned it down. It was just like, look, we're gonna stick with our roots.
I had to find a babysitter. I mean, that's pretty much what it came down to. I had to find a damn babysitter, and no one wanted to.
Well, I don't want to show up the actual host. It seems in poor taste.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a bunch of like Game of Thrones fans chanting about how shitty the last season was anyway. I don't need that. Like, that's Fleabag's gonna sweep anyway, from what I hear. So I mean,
I haven't seen that show.
I haven't seen that show either. They tell me it's good. So,
I've heard this as well.
So, but I'm too busy watching old 4-year-old TV shows and a Good Place to care.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, and Good Place alum, I finally started watching Veronica Mars.
Yeah?
And I'm only a couple episodes in because I stopped to watch several other things, such as Game of Thrones, which I sat and watched the entire second season in one day.
Yeah, how'd that go? Second season's
it was
good.
a roller coaster. I really liked the second season a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did quite a bit. Yeah, it was definitely a roller coaster of emotions. I very much wanted Joffrey to eat it.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, and
I'm sorry.
yeah.
See, do you like it? How do you like it? Do you think it's like improving for you?
Well, I was on board from the first season, so I'm definitely enjoying it. It's going to be one of those things where I got through the second season, and I'm going to keep watching it. But also, I know that I'm going to need to like watch it when I have some time to set aside for it. So then I moved on to Easy, which I finished, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I haven't watched that one yet. I've not watched any episodes, but that's one with our boy Marin, right?
Yeah, and he's really good in it.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's like turning into a hell of an actor for somebody who doesn't have much experience, or at least like none before his own show. Well, I mean, other than his bit parts and other things.
Well, there was a really interesting article I read in GQ yesterday. It was an interview with him. And just kind of, because I guess Star Trust is coming out like now.
It's already out.
It's already out,
limited
but
release. It keeps opening in more places, but yeah.
So we should make a date for that.
Well, yeah, if it ever opens here.
If ever, well, it's going to open here because it's Phoenix. We're the 5th largest market.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of stuff though.
We get more stuff than I think we do.
Yeah, all right. I'll keep my eye out for it.
I mean, just
if it
because
plays here, we'll go.
I just know when I lived in Detroit and even in Milwaukee, like if you wanted to see something, you have to wait at least a month.
Oh yeah,
and like here you like have to, maybe wait a week at the most.
I keep an eye on the website to see if it's popping up. But, yeah, I definitely want to see it. So,
but the interview was really good, and they interviewed Marin about like, a lot of these characters I play are very similar and on my level, but like they're not me. Like I know, and they kind of like the kind of the article was there's podcast me, there's sort of trust me, there's easy me, and glow me, and like how you know which one's which, and like and I mean Marin's always deeper than I think people give him credit for, but I really liked what he had to say. I'll have to send you the link or something. I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would. What I'm liking about his acting style is the sort of like subtle. I don't know. Like you'll have to watch Easy, and then we can talk about it because I really like the way his character evolves in that. And there are some really like real moments that he achieves in it. And generally speaking, everybody in it is really good. And knowing that it's a Swanberg thing, so a lot of it's improvised too. They follow characters through the 3 years that it's on, and or at least some of them get followed through. And there's a lot of characters that show up in other episodes, where they're not the main ones, but so you kind of still get to see some evolution of their stories a little bit, and it's really well done.
I think that's what kind of, I remember wanting to see it because he was in it, but I think it was the fact that I don't necessarily the Swanberg, the Duplass's, and like there's certain Duplass films that I like, and certain Duplass projects that I like, and even Swanberg. I don't think there's anything of Swanberg's I've seen.
This might be the first thing that I've seen of his, actually.
And the one who does Sword Trust,
Lynn Shelton.
Lynn Shelton.
Yeah, she does that improvising thing a lot too.
I think they call it. there's a name for it. I think it's called mumblecore. Maybe I'm probably way off on this, but that's some hit and some don't, and I've seen the ones that don't.
Okay,
I think, and that kind of turned me off when I heard about Easy.
Gotcha.
Despite the talent in front of the camera,
for me, this one works.
Okay,
Yeah, I would give it a shot.
Okay. So, and because I've seen some Duplass projects that are like, I've seen Jeff Who Lives at Home, which I liked. And then I've seen some, and like, I forget which ones they are, because, I mean, I don't want to remember them.
Because it's that forgettable.
Because they're a little forgettable. I mean, it's like, they put a tremendous amount of faith in an actor, and sometimes it hits, and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes they don't bring it.
Yeah. And you realize
it's a lot of pressure on them. Not everybody can have like Christopher Guest's stable of actors, you know.
But I think the difference is at least Guest has an outline of where he wants the story to go. I've heard that the Duplasses don't even
bring an outline. They're like, here's the general gist, and you're this character, and now go.
Hopefully it ends the way we want it to.
Interesting.
So I've heard. Don't quote
well,
me.
you know, Duplass brothers, you can come on the show if you want.
Yeah,
I would talk to you.
Yeah, I like which one's the one who's Mark? I think Mark's the one who's always on things.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can come on anytime.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
we'll talk about The Good Place with you.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, your career, I guess.
Yeah. We'll talk about you too. Anyone who's wants to come is invited.
Absolutely.
So we'll make room for you here at the table.
But to kind of go back, so did Darcy Carden get nominated?
That's a good question. I'd have to get out the old Google to look that up.
We should. I mean, why start researing now? But
we've done it before.
We do it occasionally.
It works to our advantage.
Yeah, sure. But so I was actually digging Veronica Mars. I just had not. That's one that I think that that I will enjoy more as it goes on. I'm kind of like I said, I've only seen the first couple of episodes, and I was kind of waiting for it to settle down and stop being like, oh, this is so and so's backstory, and this is the other person's backstory, and you know, eventually it'll get to where you're not having to be reminded of everybody's backstory, but. I'm generally digging the characters and the writing and all that sort of thing. So
are you a full-blown marshmallow now?
I don't know. This same, you know, there's something about this that appeals to me in a way that like Gilmore Girls appealed to me too, and Sorkin stuff appeals because again, like people don't really talk like they talk in that show.
Yeah. But it's a lot of quick clips and pop culture bromides.
It's entertaining though, and well executed. So yeah,
my ex-wife really liked that show, and I would watch it occasionally, and it's one of those things that, like I thought I enjoyed it when I watched it, but again, it's like no one talks like this, no one does it, and it's like it's fun, but it's. Oh man, come on.
See, yeah, I don't know. I can suspend my disbelief like that as long as it's good writing. So, like, any Aaron Sorkin show, Sports Night is probably. I mean, West Wing is great. Newsroom is really good for the most part, but Sports Night is probably still my favorite. And really, like, nobody does the walk and talks like those, and nobody just has like the fast-paced monologue thing, you know. It's or practically monologue. People are basically just exchanging monologues because there's so much dialogue in there.
Have you seen Steve Jobs?
I haven't.
Okay, so it is 3 long walk and talks.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yep. That's what that movie is just 3 long walk and talks. And let me tell you, no one talks like that. And somehow during these 3 walk and talks, they somehow encompass everything that happens in Steve Jobs' life.
Huh.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, and with I'm not spoiling anything because I think we all know the man did invent the iPod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But they kind of like tack on at the end like, I've invented this new thing. It's called it plays music. It's called the iPod. It's like, did you like